One.
Hello, welcome to the second episode of Sensical Ramblings, where our rambles make sense. My name is Keegan, and I'm joined by my co-host Robin.
Hello.
So, how was your day, Robin?
I just came back from the gym. It
How
was
was
very
that
good.
gym life for you?
Dude, the gym is great. I don't know
Is it
how
really
some
that great?
it is that great. I don't know how some
All right.
people could just not go to the gym. I know if you don't have time, but it makes you feel so much better.
I mean, some people are usually can be fine with like how their bodies are, or they don't even have to feel like they need to be healthy if they're healthy enough, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but I always have that sneaking suspicion that one day if I just stop going to the gym after like I attain my physique I want, I'll just start losing gains because I'm not gaining anything, you know? So,
Maybe, maybe. I mean, that's more like you're constantly putting stress on your muscles. So like when you stop putting that stress, they're gonna start like relaxing in a sense. You're gonna. It's like muscle atrophy people get after like being bedridden for like months or years.
that is
They have
true.
to build strength back up. So
Have you heard the story of, speaking of like atrophy and like staying in one place for a long time? There's this story of a lady or a man, I don't remember. They were on a toilet seat for like a couple weeks to like a month, just sitting on the toilet seat, getting like food brought to them and stuff, so they don't die, right? And the skin of their butt just started go like merging with the toilet seat. Have you ever heard of
oh
that?
man,
Yeah, it's
no, I
crazy.
have not. I have not heard. That's wild. That's like, but that reminds me of another case of this old woman who was like in a bath, I think, and the water was running and it was pretty hot the entire time, and I think she couldn't get up and she was stuck for the entire time,
Okay.
and she was there for like I think like over a day, like just stuck in hot running water,
Oh
and
no.
yeah, and it got to a point where like I guess the skin of her body kind of was like lifted off of her like muscles. And it at first when the cops came in to see, they thought she was already dead because I think she like looked bloated or something. So
Mm.
when they like took her out, or actually I think it was no, it was the shower, not the bath. It wasn't like she wasn't in water, but she looked like pretty like
So
melted a little bit.
she was in a shower. So was the bathtub full, or was it just like the shower just
I
constantly?
think yeah, I think the shower was just constantly running, but it was hot water, and she was
Yeah.
like I think I forget exactly. I think she fell and then she just couldn't get back up, but she was stuck there and like just constant running water on her, hot water. And it was, I think it was like either like a day or maybe like a couple days before anybody even found her. And the cops, I think when they came in, they thought she was dead, but then they realized that she was alive and like still breathing. Then they like, tried to take her out. And then they tried to take her out
Mm.
and her skin was like stuck to the bottom of the tub to where like it like peeled off
Oh.
of her, pulled her out. And that was like what
Ooh.
killed her. Like she was alive, but that was what killed her. Like
It's
her
like
skin just
it's like a sticker kinda.
yeah, it, like stuck to the bottom of the tub because it was no longer stuck like attached to her muscle or whatever, or the lower layer. It was just
Do you know how
off.
old she was, or was she just the old
I think,
lady?
I think she was like 70, 80, like old enough to have like generally wrinkly skin. I think.
Okay. Okay.
I remember like I think I read about that story somewhere. I don't remember where. But it was a while ago I read it. And I was like, dang, bro, imagine.
Dude, that would suck so badly.
Yeah, for she was apparently she was alive that entire time, and
Then
she
as they're just
died
like, don't worry,
when
they're
they
just
tried
like,
to help her.
don't worry, man, we got you. And it's getting her.
Yeah, because they didn't know that the skin would be just glued to the tub.
Yeah, that's I don't know, man. But back to
And
like the whole thing with working out. You went into the military because you wanted to partially also get back into exercising, didn't you?
yeah, that was one of my reasonings for going to the military.
Mm.
I so before doing that for a while, I've just been chilling at my house, just not doing anything, and I thought like the military can help me exercise, force me to exercise, I guess, get me into the habit.
Getting
And
yelled at to exercise, of course.
well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was also getting paid for it, so
You're gonna get a
but
Camaro when you're done, right?
no,
What do
I'm
you
not getting
mean?
paid that much. Relax. Also, all the money I got paid, or most of the money I got paid, still went to bills, so it's whatever. or went to like stuff we needed, necessities.
Hmm.
But while I guess while I was there, it did kind of help. Like I got into like a sort of habit into working out. So
Yeah.
when I came back for a while, I was working out, but then now I'm back to being lazy a little bit.
Of
Or
course. Of
just,
course.
of course, yeah. Although I still like now I'm moving around more that I'm working two jobs kind of. So
I haven't
like
had a chance to actually like experience a retail job yet.
yeah, I mean you could try. It's where apparently I hear or I see some people talk about like it's a good experience for everybody to get to like at least have fast food or retail
Mhm.
job at one point in their life just to see what it's like.
I actually
And
read an article for class, not on my own will. I read the article was talking about how big restaurants, a lot of like popular chefs, they get most of their like training because of like fast food and like the lower tier experience. They don't teach you that stuff in like the high tier restaurants.
yeah, because I bet in the high tier restaurants it's more probably like I would say a bit more chill and not as like frantic in the sense because people aren't just trying to get in and get out. People are trying to like chill or get there, have their food be good,
It's
and then
more of like the things you're supposed to like already know,
yeah,
like taking inventory and doing all this stuff, customer service.
yeah.
Like a
Although I
lot of
know
chefs
that
are a lot of chefs are just like they worked at like fast food chains before they went off to like big
yeah,
awesome restaurants. So
yeah, yeah, it probably does help too because like you're working for like a lot of I guess a lot of customers that come in and a lot of times you'll get rushes and stuff of people just randomly coming in during like a lunch
yeah,
rush because
it teaches you how to function under pressure, right?
yeah. Especially like for me working at Chick-fil-A, like there's a constant lunch rush because that's the like around the times where everybody gets off work and wants to get some lunch, right?
Hmm.
So everybody is like going crazy during that time, like. But we're pretty efficient at least the place where I'm working at. So it's not too bad. Sometimes there's mistakes because a lot of stuff happens, but for the most part it's fine.
That's the thing about Chick-fil-A though. Chick-fil-A, so I was watching a video from Matt Pat, Food Theory, and yeah, owning a Chick-fil-A is probably harder than getting into Harvard. It is harder statistically than getting into Harvard, like owning one, because the way the whole fast food system works, if you wanna, because some families own a business and they're a part of like the franchise. Like a lot of
Yeah,
people own a Subway.
yeah,
The thing about it is that they choose people to run the business based on how much you make. So McDonald's, you need to be making a lot because it's a big franchise, right?
yeah,
But Chick-fil-A, you don't need to make like anything. They don't care. What they care about is you, just you. So in particular, their recruitment process involves like writing 9 papers, doing like 13 interviews, and because of
yeah.
that, if you get through all that, and I believe in high school you need an almost 4.0 GPA. Yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy. And because of that, like when you go to a Chick-fil-A, it's the best customer service because the manager is right there doing working with the
yeah,
employees.
yeah,
Yeah, your employee is with you, like doing stuff in the
yeah.
store.
Managers are constantly with us. Even like the higher, like I guess, sort of managers are with us doing stuff.
Yeah,
But
I don't know a lot of fast food like places that do that. Like I don't know,
I
it's
mean,
interesting.
it makes sense. It's like at that point, it's no longer an entry level job. You're like owning a business, so they have to at least know that you're capable in some way to some degree.
Mhm.
So, because like if not, you're gonna be running either that part of the business or like maybe possibly the entire business down if you set like a bad reputation like that.
Mhm.
So it's
It's
like it's like
yeah.
it's like a lot of companies how they try to like prevent a lot of stuff from ruining their reputation because they have stock and they don't want that stock to go down of themselves.
The thing about Chick-fil-A in particular is, well, you can make a lot of money being a franchise owner for Chick-fil-A, and Matt Pat was going through a lot of finances in the financial aspect of going to college, then getting an entry level job, or
Yeah.
getting into being a franchise owner at Chick-fil-A, and like along the years, because when you finish college, you have to pay off a lot of debt at Harvard in particular.
Yeah.
When you finish all the stuff with Chick-fil-A, that's instant boom, you start getting like a lot of money. So that's only for the franchise owners. So in the long run, I don't know. Going to college might be better, but in the short run, like in the span of like 5-10 years, if you were smart in high school, definitely try to be a franchise owner for Chick-fil-A. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Or be some kind of like owner of like any kind of little job, because that might help you get some money.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't think I'll be able to make the cut. I wasn't very good in high school with my grades.
Yeah, that's like the barrier to entry for Chick-fil-A.
I think I had a 4.0 GPA. I was in honors at senior year though, without really trying, but I didn't have no 4.0.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for. That's how they weed out everybody, you know?
I mean, yeah, like it does suck, for some people that may have the potential to be great, but didn't have like, I guess, the motivation, or they didn't put in the work early in life. Now they
Mhm.
kind of like shot themselves in the foot with that. But
You gotta know
it
you gotta
happens.
know what you're getting into, because I doubt that this happened, but I'm sure there are some people who wanted to do the Chick-fil-A thing, filled out all the paperwork, did great on all the interviews, but because that they had bad GPA in high school, that they're just denied.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in that case, if they haven't gone to college yet, they could probably like try to supersede it by going to college and getting like a very very good grades.
Now they don't
And
look at college grades.
I mean,
It's only high
I
school
don't.
grades. So crazily enough.
Oh man, I mean, I guess if there's no chance to like for them to even look at college grades, then I don't know. Because if there was a chance, you could probably try and show them like if you had good college grades, just show them like I may have been like a bad kid, but I'm no longer bad. I changed, type of stuff.
Hmm.
And then you show them the transcripts. Look at that 4.0 valedictorian of my college. Look at that. So like
They
show
have
like
they have a reasoning for choosing high school,
I mean I
which
guess
I
yeah.
don't.
I mean there's like pretty much a lot of people have their own reasonings. A lot of companies, just a lot of times it like sucks for some people.
Who really wanted to be a part of the whole franchise?
Yeah, like some people maybe they want to be a business owner or some kind of like owner like that, and then that was like their only chance, and their high school years ruined it
Mm.
just because they wanted to skip classes a couple times.
I remember. Speaking of skipping classes, I remember when was the first? Have you ever skipped a class?
Oh yeah, in high school, yeah.
Yeah, recently. No, not recently, but my senior year was the first time I ever skipped a class. Mainly, it was advisory. So for everybody who doesn't know, who would be watching this later, our high school had an advisory, which is every last period on Fridays, which you would be with a teacher of your they choose for you, and you do things. You do like team building stuff. So I thought I had a teacher. I didn't really like his advisory. Mr. Mazzoli.
Yeah, Miss.
Yeah, I was in his advisory, and I was just like, man, I really don't want to go. So I didn't go. It's
Wow.
simply the match that I didn't go. But fun. I skipped it. Right, I left and I went to Dunkin' Donuts. And
Wow.
one thing about high school, this whole system for high school versus college is that every period in high school it's 45 minutes. College, a normal class is hour 40.
Well, it depends like how many credits the classes are,
Of
but
course,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like I had my umbrella I went to school with my umbrella that day, and I left it in the building.
Just left your umbrella.
Yeah, and I was just like, so you remember Miss Maldonado?
Yeah.
So I left it in her room, but I didn't want to tell her like, hey, could you grab it for me or something, or keep it, and then she'll be
They should
like,
be like,
oh,
oh,
why don't you come by and get it then? What's wrong? I was like, wait a second, I'm not in the school. I'm not there.
yeah.
I don't know. And because I missed that advisory, my grade for advisory, because surprisingly you did get graded for advisory, um, went down. I think I got a 95 for it because I missed one day, which was a little annoying.
Wow.
But
Yeah, I think.
after that year though, I transferred into Oda's advisory.
Of course.
I was just like, please, please,
I think wasn't there a lot of people trying to get into Oda's
yeah,
advisory?
of
I
course.
guess people liked Oda. I forgot who I had. I think I had Miss Mazzoli as well,
I don't remember
or
you in
I don't know. Maybe it was maybe I don't even know if I had it or like actually properly went to it. But like I remember my first time skipping class or skipping periods
yeah. Tell
was
me
in
about it.
10th grade. Yeah, it was in 10th grade. I started out with a headache in the morning, and I was just like, oh, it's just a headache. I'll just go to school, whatever. And by like second period, which was I remember it was French class, it like was so painful. I think I had a migraine. So like the entire day I was just like in pain and I didn't even go to lunch. I went to the library to like try to calm it down and it wasn't like nothing was working. So I decided to just leave at lunch during lunchtime and just go home. That was the first time I ever skipped. And I forgot who I went with, but I think it was like Jocelyn or something, but they told me to
Joss.
try and yeah, they told me to try and play it off as like I'm not like feeling bad because like if I leave during school hours and like something happens to me outside of school, it could be the school's responsibility, like a liability thing. So
Mm-hmm.
if they see that I'm feeling bad, they can like stop me and keep me in or something. So I didn't want that. So I tried my best to like laugh with the guys as we're walking out, and that was just pain. Because as soon as I stepped out, I was like, and then I went home just in pain. Everything hurt that day.
I don't think I've ever left like in the middle of school before. I think the only times I've done that was like when there was like a big test. It's not like college where you could just leave after like you finish your test or anything.
Yeah.
It's like Regents Week. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you finish it, you could just leave or hang out. Like I remember since I was like whatchamacallit, since I was like doing Regents with the seniors in my junior year, I was hanging out with them while they're in the the gym.
Uh,
Yeah.
like in the big gym or the weight room.
Big gym, big gym, big gym. With all
Okay.
the seniors just hanging out there, so I was there with
Yeah,
them.
I remember doing
It's the
that.
perks of being smart that you can hang out with the bigger people. So,
Yeah, pretty much. Especially if you finish early, you get to chill for longer.
dude, like, do you like when taking a test? Right? Let's talk about tests for a second. When
Yeah.
taking a test, do you get like a little anxious when somebody leaves before you, leaves the room and
Um,
finishes before? You're just like,
Not
oh,
necessarily.
you're just like, oh, I gotta finish this.
Like, not gonna lie. Usually, I was one of the earlier ones to finish if I actually like tried in a test. If not, then I knew that I wasn't really trying because I was just chilling for the most part.
Mm.
So, not to toot my own horn,
As he toots
but
his own horn.
just something like that. I was usually one of the first people to finish like tests that normally, especially for like math and science tests. I was usually one of the first people to finish
Of course,
since
look
like
at you now.
yeah, since like middle school and stuff. But so it never really made me anxious. Although normally for me taking tests in general, because I'm under a time constraint, I guess I feel somewhat nervous where I make like smaller mistakes here and there more often than I would have normally if it wasn't a time constraint.
Yeah.
So like in that case, I would say not a very good test taker because it's happened more times than not, especially in college tests.
At least in college, you have much longer than in high school. 45 minutes
Yeah,
for a test is
yeah.
insanely short compared to what we get
Well,
in high school
that's
in
why
college.
yeah that's why some tests in high school they make it like over a couple days just so they
Yeah,
give
yeah,
people. But then that makes it gives you like more chance to like cheat.
yeah.
So
Speaking
it
on cheating, um, it is a big problem in school. Like I see
yeah.
memes of because of quarantine, your future doctor, you better stay healthy because that doctor is gonna be probably passed because of Chegg or something. So like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I don't really see it as too much of an issue because it's like when you're really a doctor, you'll be able to look stuff up yourself, and like as long as you know how to find the information and properly get it,
And use
then
the
it's not really that
information.
deep. Because a lot of tests are trying to go off of like memory and stuff, when in reality, if you had those jobs for those tests, you wouldn't go off memory, because then that's too unreliable. You would have to like get sources, or like have some sort of evidence to show why you're like thinking a certain way.
That's the funniest thing about computer science, because the
Yeah.
tests I have to take involve me like reading code on a piece of paper, then like talking, like doing the output of it. Like, what does this code output? I'm just like, this is the most complex thing I've ever seen. How am I supposed to know what it outputs? Just let me use my IDE. Let me literally just put it into the computer, and I'll give you the
Yeah.
thing there. But no, you can't.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess in those cases, it's like it's trying to let make you understand, or at least try to get to your understanding of how you look at code or something like that,
Yeah,
or
I had
make.
this. I forgot like a bunch of my Java experience because I took Java a while ago. So I spent an entire Saturday, like I did last Saturday, um,
Yeah.
doing like just learning all day. I went on W3 Schools, which is a great resource for coding and stuff like that. I'm sure they do other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Um, and I just went through all their entire catalog and lessons of Java, wrote it all down, and it does help me. Like the class I went to, I was just like, yeah, I understand what he's saying now. You
Oh
know,
my god, it's
it
clicking.
makes sense. The
Yeah.
jargon is making sense.
Oh yeah, I like when that happens, or when I have like random epiphanies of stuff and I just start understanding stuff. It's just it's just so cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, like that's happened to me in college a couple times for calculus 2 and 3, where like I was just kind of like seeing what the professors were doing, and I was kind of doing the work, but I wasn't understanding it for like a little bit, for a couple like different topics. I was like, bro, why does this turn into this? Like I was looking in the textbook, just not understanding how they got to the answer. And then at some point I started doing it, and like I for some reason it like clicked. I like did one number or something somewhere, and I was like, oh my god, no way, that's how oh. And then everything, I started doing all the steps, and it was fire. I like it when that happens.
When things click, it is the most. I don't even know. It's a combination of like a euphoric feeling and like if you're a male, just testosterone, and if
All
you're a
right.
female, testosterone as well. She's like, yeah, let's go. So like,
Let's go. They
like
just grow a beard.
yeah. Oh, what you call it? I since I had no class today. Funny story, right? Like I told you yesterday, I think. My professor told us today our first class will be online because he's not feeling well.
Yeah.
So my second professor, I'm just like, okay, I gotta go in for my 12 o'clock class because there's no point in staying home when I still have to go to school. So I'll just join the online class at school and stuff. But
Yeah.
then when I'm on the train about to leave Queens, then he sends out an email saying he's not going to be in the office today. I'm just like, huh. So I call my mom and I just let her know that I'm coming home.
Wow. Just so she doesn't get mad at you for skipping school.
No, it's just so that she would just know. She got mad like they don't mention this to anybody. They don't mention it before making me go and do all that stuff.
I mean, it might have been like a spur of the moment type of thing for the professor. He might have decided something
Maybe.
to do. Yeah, so you never know. Sometimes things like that happen. Can't really predict it,
What were
especially
we
if it's like.
talking about right before I was talking about that? I was gonna lead into it.
I think we were talking about the euphoria, or like epiphanies and stuff.
Yes. So I was at home. I got home and I was just like, damn, I got an hour before class. For the previous class, like the in person one we did, the
Yeah.
previous class, I wasn't paying attention at all. I was doing the next class's work, so I did. He said, okay, if we submitted the work, we wouldn't need to come in that day.
Okay.
And so I was just like, yeah, no, we're taking. I do not care what's happening in this class, my 10 o'clock class. I'm going to do my 12 o'clock class work. And that bit me because I had no clue how to do the work, this classwork. And I'm going through
Oh.
and I'm just like, wait a second. It's making sense. The one thing about coding, if any audio listeners or anybody's watching this wants to get into coding, there is no better feeling in the world than your code working on the first attempt.
Oh yeah, that probably feels pretty good. Like
It
just a
is
little bit of
the
coding I did.
yes, it is beautiful. It's
Uh,
comparable to
the
sex, maybe even better.
hey, sometimes some people probably feel like that, or not. There was one time I had an epiphany too. It was a pretty dumb epiphany, but an epiphany nonetheless, about what R and R meant.
Rest and
Because
relaxation.
yes, I did not for the longest. I think I did not know what R and M like represent, or like the terms what they were, but I knew that it represented like the rest and relaxation type of dealio. And I was just like listening to a commercial on TV, and they just said rest and relaxation, and for some reason I thought about it. I'm like, wait, rest and relaxation both start with R. R
R
and
and
R.
R.
Oh my god! I think I was like 14 or 15, or like around like mid-teens when it like clicked for some reason. I was like, bro, I'm so dumb.
I'm
It's tired.
let me think about an epiphany I had recently, like of the same thing.
It was something dumb.
Have you are there any other times that you felt like that? You're just like, wait a second, that means that? No way.
Uh, Not one that I can vividly remember. It was just that one time for the R and R where like it really just like I'm so dumb, bro. How did I not think of this before? Although I guess it wasn't really much of an epiphany, just an interesting like thing to learn. Like I think I was like 17, 16, 17 when I learned that laser is an acronym and what the acronym was.
Laser's an acronym?
Yeah, lasers like light amplification by stimulated emissions of radiation, something like that.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. So like I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know it was an acronym. Nice.
Mm.
So it's pretty interesting how lasers work, though. The way that they like have a specific type of gas inside the laser that is energized. They make the electron go to a higher state of energy, so that once it goes back down and loses energy, it emits a photon in a certain direction, which is what you get. Which is why you get like a straight line of light, and it doesn't like travel everywhere like a flashlight.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Why it's so concentrated and like a.
Like
Hmm.
it's pretty cool, and that's why you can also see. You don't like see a line of light until it hits the wall. You just see the dot, unless it's like you shoot the laser in a gas, and then you start seeing the line of light because the photons are hitting other molecules that it reflects off of and hit your eyes. So optics.
Optics, yes. That and like the whole idea of like plasma weapons. Not plasma. What was it? Railgun? No, not
Oh
railgun.
yeah, the like electromagnetism type of thing.
No,
Like they use a lot.
there's like this concept like I've seen people try to do like a pulse rifle for example.
Oh, like it shoots like a little ball of plasma or something.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Like it goes around a couple tubes, like it spins and then it just shoots out a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But I'm
Uh,
pretty sure it's not like I'm pretty sure it's still like a ball of like metal just being like charged to just shoot out like through all that stuff.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, to create like those kinds of weapons, or at least like those kind of sci-fi weapons where he just shoots plasma or something, needs a lot of like energy on
Yeah.
its own to do it. Yeah. A lot of times, it's like we have the capability to create stuff to do it. It's just not in like like a handheld version of it in a sense, to where you can just hold a weapon of it.
Mm.
So it's like kind of weird, especially for plasma stuff, because to get plasma you need to either superheat a gas to the point where the electrons fly off of the nucleus of an atom, or you ionize the gas, which will cause like the same effect, which is how you get plasma. Usually that kind of stuff doesn't happen naturally unless you're like, unless you're in a star.
Mm.
So
All that
so
stuff's
yeah, it's
interesting. I feel like I wish Cyberpunk had a little bit more like um whatchamacallit, like scientific laserish weapons and stuff like that. There's like
yeah,
a surprising lack of those stuff in the
yeah,
game and in the anime.
yeah. While I was watching the anime, I was kind of hoping that they kind of delve into the science of stuff rather than just showing stuff, because I like listening to how their laws of physics in their universe or
Yeah,
even if you try to use
I-
real life physics.
that whole thing, the anime is supposed to just detail a story that happens in Night City,
Yeah,
while the game has so much information that I redid my playthrough, right? Because I
yeah.
wanted to start reading all the stuff I picked up, but dude, reading all that stuff is just too much. It's a lot. It's
Oh
like
yeah, I
little
bet.
context for like the little enemies and little gang hideouts that you just destroy and kill. It's like, oh, what they were doing there, what's going on and stuff. Just a
uh,
little like text
yeah,
message exchange.
yeah,
Exchange.
all the little lore,
Yeah.
a
And
little
it's all
bit of lore.
connected, surprisingly. But like, bro, I'm just playing it and I'm worrying more about the cutscenes, like when I was telling you about like Johnny Silverhand yesterday.
Yeah,
And how Adam Smasher was like 50 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll play all the story stuff. It still is interesting. I gotta watch. There's a big lore video for Cyberpunk
Yeah,
because
I like when.
Cyberpunk wasn't just the game.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk was a
Well,
tabletop game.
was it a tabletop game?
Yeah,
What
you
kind of
didn't know
tabletop
that.
game was that?
It's
I definitely didn't know that.
it's I don't I haven't looked too far into it, but Cyberpunk was first a tabletop game in the early 90s,
Ah, okay.
and Adam
That's in.
Smasher was also in the tabletop game.
Ah, he's one of the OGs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean like having all of this type of like background lore for like or for like the world of a game reminds me of me playing a game called Hollow Knight. I don't know if you've heard of it,
Yeah, I know
but
about Hollow Knight.
in that game, it's like a very like you have very basic movements or it's like a very basic surface level type of gameplay mechanic stuff. Like it's like a Metroidvania type of game,
Mm-hmm.
and but like there's like a lot of lore to it. If you just like listen to what people say, like just go around to the NPCs and just like listen to what they say, or if they're like infected, because that's a part of the game. There's another part of the game where you can get a certain weapon that can like read their minds in a sense. You can read their every single NPC that's infected, and there's a lot of like enemies. You can read all of their minds and like get bits of lore here and there.
You know what
And
that
it's just
reminds me of, actually?
what?
Near Automata. I don't know if you ever played that with like 2B.
Nah, I've heard of it though, and I know like who 2B is and stuff.
The game is weird, as you can imagine. Not,
Yeah,
it's just a weird game to play. Like nothing makes sense what you're doing. But when you
yeah.
beat the game multiple times, every other playthrough, the enemies you fight will have like things they say. You understand the language they're speaking, and it gets depressing.
Oh,
I don't know. There's the hidden stuff behind games, like hidden behind like a language barrier or something similar.
oh yeah.
It can change the
It's
entire way the game is seen. What I think.
Yeah, like you play through it one time and you're just kind of like, oh wow, these guys are the bad guys, and then you read through it and you're like, oh, are they? Was I the bad guy?
Yeah, exactly.
You just start having an existential crisis.
It's like, oh no, I murdered this entire school bus full of children.
And the,
But they
yeah,
said the kids were bad. When you go back, when you go back in time and replay it, it was just a school bus full of normal kids.
like I was just following orders.
Following in Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't know if you've seen this meme. It was just like there are guerrilla soldiers in the Africa portion of the game,
Okay.
and you can hurt them because they do shoot at you. They are dangerous. You can hurt them,
Okay.
and you would get a mission fail if you kill them. But
Wow.
whatchamacallit, there's a video. It was just like, boss is like the mission fail screen. Boss, you killed the child. Then it would switch to mission successful. That's why you're the best boss.
Just like
That's why you're the best boss.
well, yeah, you got to kill some kids here and there,
I saw a video of like you can like have control a flying rocket like hand, your metal hand,
Yeah.
and you can watch it fly, and he's just punching kids with it, like multiple kids in one like flight. It's funny. I don't know. Have you ever played Metal Gear? Like any of the Metal Gear games?
Nah, I haven't played any Metal Gear.
I would say my favorite was Metal Gear Solid 4, but that's only on PS3.
I think Actually, I think I played a demo or something of Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah, I remember playing like either the first mission or whatever they had in that little demo.
Hmm.
And wait, is it the one with Snake, right?
Yeah, they all have Snake, but
Yeah.
it's little did you know it's different Snakes. He was cloned.
Oh, yeah. But like, I think I was just doing a sneaky mission. Like I was just sneaking around some sort of base. I forget exactly what was going on, but I think I got like halfway through the mission, and then I was like, let me play a different game right now. Then I didn't get back to it. I think I
That's
still
fair.
have it too, like the demo.
You have to put a lot of time into it, but it is good. The story is really good.
Yeah, and for a lot of games, they go like pretty in depth for their kind of stuff. There's some simple games too where they like really go in depth with their like story, or at least go in more in depth than you would expect. Like for me, there was this one game. I don't know if you heard of Friday Night Funkin'.
Yeah.
So like there's like actual like a whole full on lore to it, to like why your main character is like battling these
Why your main
characters.
character is beatboxing.
Yeah, no, exactly. Why your main character is battling these other characters in music and like all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh wow, that's pretty interesting. I thought it was just just a quick little like, oh, you just yeah, okay, you're battling this guy. Oh, you won. Next guy, you're rap battling or whatever. It's pretty
Hmm.
interesting. And they said they're making a full game,
They
and there's a
they they got
Kickstarter for it.
there's a Kickstarter and they made millions off of it.
And so, but nobody there's like hasn't been any like news for it. So a lot of people are saying that they were scammed. So
I mean,
I don't
but
know.
the modding scene is keeping Friday Night Funkin' alive.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they do a full game because they said they're doing like 60 weeks or something, or 20 weeks, 60 songs or something like that. So
Okay.
hopefully they do, you know, come through with their word, and it wasn't a scam. I just
Hmm.
wish there was some news about it.
What are they doing in that time? I don't think like that game's too complex.
Well, I guess it's probably just because like they're trying to add a bit. They're not doing just the base game.
Where's the studio based?
I'm not even sure. I didn't really look at that. But I think because they either they said it or I heard from somewhere that they're trying to add like extra stuff, not just like the base game that you can play right now. It's like not just going to be that for
Open
like 20.
world RPG.
I don't know about all that, man. That'd be wild. Just to get that kind of game. Oh, but that does remind me of the Hogwarts Legacy game that I keep talking about, bro. That I really want to play.
I would love to play it as well. It just looks so good.
Real, bro.
I've
If
told you I've played like one of the actual like whatchamacallit Harry Potter games before. It was Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince.
ah
No Lego, nothing. It was just the events of the movie. Like I
yeah
look back on like a lot of games with rose tinted glasses because of the era they were in,
yeah
and I'm just like these games look so good, dude. Right? Like for
yeah
example, this game I played and I loved it. I played it so much, played with every single character. It was an RPG. It was called Dungeon Siege 3.
okay
I never played the other ones because we only had 3. This was when like I had no money and my parents
of
were
course
reluctant to buy us games. So the rare
of course
chance of like finding a random game that we never played before. I was playing it.
yeah.
I was like, bro, this game is so fire. The graphics are insane. Now looking
Of
back on
course.
it now, it's so bad. Like it
But
is terrible.
I bet there's a lot of people like that where like in their early years they like play a game that they thought was so good and then they look back into it and they're like, bro, why was I ever into this?
I think we're getting spoiled with how technology is coming, like getting better and better because like
And how fast it's advancing and stuff.
yeah, because right now technology it's just whatchamacallit. Technology right now, everything is just so real. Like they're pushing like reality with a lot of titles and games.
Yeah, like once like VR is getting pretty good, but like once we start getting into like proper AR stuff where they start bringing like digital stuff into our world, like you see in a lot
They
of like the
tried to do
sci-fi.
that with Minecraft and stuff, but I want to have like an AR headset. I don't know if you watched the SAO movie, Ordinal Skill.
Yeah, I watched it, but I kind of
That was
forgot a lot of
cool.
it.
The AR like
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Kirito
Yeah,
is just like okay, I'm the best, but like
yeah.
in
Didn't they
terms of
bring like
AR, he's not, because he's not that physically fit, and the guy
Yeah,
who's the best
he doesn't have
is,
superpowers.
yeah, the guy who's actually the best in the thing, who was the bad guy, was just like an athlete.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's pretty interesting. But weren't they fighting like the level 100 boss though from Maseo?
I don't I don't remember. I don't think we ever saw the
Well,
level 100 boss. We only got to like 80 on the show.
I
Got out of
I
it.
think they showed it in one of the movies that
I
I
think
think it
the
might
I
have
think the
been
new movie shows it, but I never got a chance to watching it. I don't have time to watch anime, bro. I really want to watch
either
it.
either they mentioned that I don't remember, but I remember them mentioning something about like, oh, this is the one level 100 boss or something, and it was just something crazy. And
I think it's in the new movie. I think the new movie focuses on Asuna.
okay, I don't know. I didn't even know they were making a new movie.
Really? It's out already.
Oh, is it?
It it, it I think it's SEO Progressive, it's called.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
It's been in the works for like a year. People knew about it, then it recently got released, but because I'm busy with all this garbage and schoolwork,
Yeah, I usually don't watch like a lot of anime movies unless it's like canon to the story.
mhm,
So like, I watched the Jujutsu Kaisen movie, the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero,
that's just
when it came out.
backstory, right?
Yeah, it was the prequel. It's the prequel to the story, but apparently that prequel wasn't like it was supposed to just be the prequel. Like that was supposed to be the entire manga, just Yuta's story, and that's it. Because the author wasn't expecting to get anywhere with it. He was just doing like a one-off thing. But then apparently it was a big success or big enough success that he started another story, but connecting to the prequel. So
Hmm.
Yuta's still story and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I still haven't
But
all those movies and stuff. I never had gotten around to watching it. I
yeah,
gotta do what I did. So like maybe a few weeks ago when I was watching Call of the Night, I was like, okay, my summer shows that I started like in the beginning of the summer, I just stopped watching them, and then they finished. I was like, damn, I really need to watch them. So I spent a weekend, and in one night, I didn't. At first, I didn't want to watch Cyberpunk. I was just like, okay, it's just Cyberpunk. How good is it, anyways? But I finished Shadow's House, which is fantastic. I love Shadow's House. I finished how not How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. What was it? The one where the demon lord, he gets transported to, and he works at McDonald's. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, the devil's a part timer.
Devil's a part timer. Yeah, I love that show, but turns out this arc where they introduce one of the characters, um, was bad. Everybody hates it, but they say it picks up in the next season, and the next season's confirmed.
Yeah. I mean, at least that's good. But so far I'm liking the second season. Like it's just it's not like super crazy. It's
Yeah,
pretty chill and stuff.
yeah,
And
it's cool.
yeah, it's not too bad. Like I don't hate it at least. Like you know me, I don't be hating stuff. So
Yeah, you like everything, but
well,
aside from
no, I don't like everything.
that, right? What else was I watching? I was watching Call of the Night, which I watched it because I was just like, okay, everybody's watching it. I guess I'm seeing clips. Let me try it out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely phenomenal. Very good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I,
Watching
I don't know. I don't know. Like watching like the whole the what is it? The setting is so good. I think.
yeah. And although I wonder if the main guy ever becomes a vampire. I don't know if he is. It seems like they're building it up to where he's not going to be.
He well, we got to see. Do you read the manga?
No, I don't really know anything that happens in that manga.
Yeah, I'm leaving the manga alone. I don't want to read it or anything.
Yeah, so
But
I have
people
no
say
idea.
the manga goes absolutely crazy. They love it.
Yeah, I've heard that, and bro, no, there's also another new seasonal that came out this season.
Well,
Akiba Maid Sensor, like Akiba's Maid War or something like that,
mm-hmm.
and it's very wild. I think I mentioned it before. It's like maid gang wars.
You
Essentially.
did mention this. I don't be having time to watch all the new stuff. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Like, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
The first episode though, really like it just immediately pops off. Like at first you're just, I think the main character, not even the main character, just a couple maids are just coming out of a car, just going. It's in the rain, you know, simple anime stuff. They're about to
Mm.
go into their building, and then there's another maid. That's like, for some reason, she's like a little shaky or like a little scared, and we're like, at least I was like, bro, what's going on? Why is she scared? Is she like, is this like her idol or something? She's scared to talk to him, and then she whips out a gun, and she's like, ah! Screams, and then shoots like 3 times to this main maid chick, and then she runs away, and we're like, bro, what just happened? I was confused, and then I thought it was just gonna be like a backstory to the main character maid or something, like, oh, this was her mom or something, and now she like wants to live up the dream of being a maid to like really show up the people who like, I don't know, got so mad at this one maid that they had to kill her. But nah, it's just gang wars.
It's just gang
Like,
wars. Gang
yeah,
wars
like,
with maids.
nah, that gun thing stays. It wasn't just a one time thing. And they be killing.
They're
And
killing.
they be killing to like really upbeat J-pop songs. Like they're shooting to the beat and stuff. It was pretty
Would you
funny.
say the
It was-
show is morbid? Just happy-go-lucky maids just getting brutally murdered.
yeah,
Grotesque. Is it grotesque though? Is it like
not like Made in Abyss type of thing.
I never watched any of this.
Well, not like I don't know what you've seen that's gruesome, but it's not like you don't really see too many like guts or people getting ripped up or anything. It's just like, you know, just some blood from people getting shot.
Okay.
So they never really go too crazy with it. It's just gunshots for the most part. But the the main character, I think, the main girl, she has like trauma from like, you know, the first episode of seeing everybody get shot and killed in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's like kind of trying to leave, but there's like little things that keep her staying. And you know, now she just has to deal with even more trauma as more people get killed in
Mm-hmm.
front of her. So it's pretty interesting.
I gotta try out. There's another show I really wanted to watch this season. I don't remember exactly, but I was reading the description. I was just like, yeah, not bad. Usually I would be like, okay, you get 3 episodes. If it's good, it's good. I don't
Yeah.
got the time for 3 episodes anymore, Keegan. I don't got that type of time anymore.
Yeah, I'm now. I think I give like anime like 1 episode, and if I'm in the mood to watch the anime, then I'll stick with it. If I'm not in that moment, I'll just be like, I'll leave it off. Like even though I'll be interested in it, if I'm not in the mood to watch that kind of anime at the time, I'll just
Mhm.
leave it. Like the other anime I was mentioning, I think my master has no tail or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Tanuki girl. I watched the first episode, and it was interesting. Like it'd probably be something I could like, you know, just watch and chill with, but I wasn't in the mood for that kind of anime at the time, so I just left it.
Some anime, if I see it's too similar to other things I've watched, I just put it off. It could be good, but I just for
Yeah.
example, I watched one of my favorite shows. Even though it's CGI, it's really good. It's Duke of Death and His Maid.
Oh yeah, bro, I watched that.
It's so good. But then
Yeah,
another
I
show
love.
comes out that with the same concept of like a girl and a girl maid and a gloomy like main character dude. I think it was called Taisho Otogi Fantasy or something like that.
Oh, I don't even know what that is, bro. I don't think I've seen it.
I don't know, but it's the concept I described, right?
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, it's just the copy and paste, but I prefer Duke of Death more,
Yeah.
100% more.
Yeah. I mean, I for the most part, for me, that kind of stuff I'm fine with. That's why I like a lot of like what people classify as isekai trash. It's just like copy and paste and stuff. Because, you know, I like the power fantasy and stuff. It's interesting to me, and I also like the realism that they do for like other anime. So like, but I don't like everything, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Yeah.
whatever you say.
Yeah.
For our audio listeners or anybody watching this, Keegan, this is a little long-running joke we have that Keegan likes everything, then he would start getting defensive. One of the only times he gets defensive, when I accuse him of liking everything, he's like, "Bro, I'll prove it to you. I don't like everything. I don't like insert anime here."
What?
As if
Listen.
one thing you don't like will.
Listen. It's just how
funny.
it is, bro.
It's funny.
I mean, it just be like that. I mean, you guys also had like your own way of interacting with me, especially like during high school, because I used to like ruin all the jokes by just taking it literally. So, and I always laughed at that because I always thought it was funny to ruin you guys' jokes, especially when you guys are like, "Bro, you just ruined it," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Got him. You
What'd you
just
say?
got, sucker.
Like I push up my glasses. Well, actually,
Well, actually.
yeah, that's pretty much what I did, and I got a kick out of it. Simple.
Yeah, as long as you're having fun.
Yeah, I mean,
I've really
I don't.
mellowed out a lot since high school.
Yeah.
High school, I was so edgy. I was talking to one of the kids I quote unquote bullied a lot, and
Ooh,
I was just telling him like, yeah, I mellowed out. It was just I was playing up a character for the younger generation.
wow. Hey, you were bullying someone, bro? Dang. Was it in front of me?
Not really bullying. It was more like
Was it something they perceived as bullying then?
no, it was fun, but I was like loud, belligerent, and a menace.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of us were kind of like that, but for me, I'm still pretty much the same. Like, I'll still do the same things that I did in high school. Like,
Mm.
just, I guess I'm just not as like loud about it as I was. So maybe that changed, but I don't know.
I don't know. Ever since quarantine, I think my voice is just haven't been loud and stuff since quarantine.
Yeah.
Because in high school, you can be as loud as you want.
Well, you can, but sometimes things happen. You get
Yeah.
in trouble. But
But I mean, like I was more unchained in high school.
yeah, a lot of people were, especially like during lunchtime in high school or
Yeah.
gym time.
Just lunch was something else. The amount of like
Bro,
lunchtime was gang activity, bro. There's like just
lunchtime,
gangs and divisions of groups of students.
look, and there was like almost always a fight. Like,
Bro, those are some great
and
times.
it would almost always be like for the stupidest things. And
Damn
I
right.
always,
Yeah,
and while you're,
I always thought they were funny.
yeah, I think there was one time where I think the guy either got so mad he dumped milk on the other guy, or that was the reason for the start of the fight is that milk got dumped on someone. Like, I don't know if it was accidental or they did it on purpose, but at some point in that interaction, there was milk dumped on someone.
Hmm.
So, and I think they were like right behind me too, and I saw the aftermath of like after the milk was already spilled or thrown, and
Yeah,
I was like, oh dang, they fighting.
they're fighting.
Yeah, they fight, bro. And it was funny is a lot of people when fights happen, like a lot of people try to like get away from the fight. In that moment, I just sat there and kept eating, bro. I was like, bro,
That's what
I'm
I
just
do.
trying to eat.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I literally do not care. But I peek sometimes. I'm just like, what's going on here? What
Yeah, I
over
look
there?
back, I'm like, oh wow, they fighting, and then I just go back to eating.
Yeah, because we only have so much time to eat. So I'm just like, I prefer.
Yeah, like,
I'm
bro,
eating.
no, people would fiend to be first in the line for lunch.
I don't know. Yeah. So if everybody watching this, listening to this, um, our cafeteria, there was like a pillar that you would wrap around the line to get to like where you would punch in your ID number, scan your ID. Right beside the pillar was a little fence or a little barrier that because the pillar was just in the worst spot imaginable, I guess. And there was
Yeah.
an opening where the barrier was, and a lot of people would jump over it, and uh, they would jump over it and just be like, "Please let me pass, please,
Oh yeah, they'd be desperate, but bro, let me
bro,
skip, bro, please.
please, for the one time,
So,
bro." I've done it a couple times, but people would like sprint to be the first one.
oh yeah, bro, people go crazy for schooly too. Like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
Like the most I did was like briskly walk, and it's like if I make it, cool. If I don't,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just like it's not worth the running,
Yeah, and
you know.
a lot of times people like leave food behind anyway. Like they don't even eat it all,
Yeah. One thing
which is
I've
bad.
noticed that high school doesn't really do um when I was in elementary school, when if there was extra food, they would come out and like offer it to the students like in the big trays and just walk around. It's like, oh, it's
Uh-huh.
extra portions and stuff. High school
Oh,
doesn't
that's
really
cool.
do that. Unless
Well,
here's the thing though, right? If you make good friends with the lunch ladies, they'll give you some extra.
Yeah.
Like if
But I
I
mean,
went
weren't
back
there?
there right now, they'll probably recognize me or probably remember me, but no, you know.
Yeah. I mean, weren't there a couple times though where they like had leftovers and they like were telling people you can get seconds if you want, and people would
Yeah,
just
yeah,
get them.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Those days were cool, like especially when it was like pizza day and then they had like more of the other stuff.
One day, which I really want them to bring back, or well, now I have to pay for food in college, but one day I really wish for them to come back. They only did one day where they did shepherd's pie for lunch, and out of the entire year, only once shepherd's pie, which
I think
is, if for people who don't know what shepherd's pie is, it's basically meat with mashed potatoes on top of it, and it was absolutely delicious. With gravy, with gravy, with gravy.
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like the lunch ladies can only do so much because they're basically doing catering every single day.
Yeah,
So they can only do very basic stuff. They can't really go too hard.
yeah, yeah. I understand that.
And they probably also don't want to keep like going hard for food because then people are gonna build up expectations and gonna want more.
Yeah, that
So
makes
like
sense.
only special occasions get those shepherd's pie.
The special occasion being one day
Yeah,
out of the entire
yeah.
year.
Maybe they were in a good mood to like make it for everyone that day or make a lot. So you never know.
Oh shoot, hold on. A new Legends coming to Apex.
I
Interesting.
don't really play Apex much anymore. I played a little bit before.
Me neither. One of the secretary of our club, I helped him get a new computer, pick one out for him,
Oh, okay.
and he's going hard in the paint with Apex.
I think before if I don't get like a really proper setup before I even get like a PC, I'll probably get a gaming laptop, at least a basic one, just to get more games and
I'll
stuff.
help you pick one out, since I'm a gaming laptop connoisseur.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can also like probably if I do start getting a PC and if we're like moved in together, or even if not, you can probably help me spec out my PC or like look for what kind of specs I would like.
Sounds good. Thing about that, we can probably like find some good cheap options
Yeah.
because
I
everybody's
mean,
after like the new stuff. The old stuff's reasonably priced now.
yeah, yeah.
When new stuff
I mean, that,
come out in technology in particular, I'm sure you know what a scalper is.
yeah.
So when the 4090s are coming out, I'm pretty sure they came out already. Those things are gonna sell for a lot resold because people want them. People are gonna buy them all out for 1600, then they're gonna raise the price by 3 times for one graphics card. That's a down payment on like an expensive car.
Yeah. People be wildin' though. They want them good specs apparently.
The thing is, you need like a crazy good power supply, and because you have a crazy good power supply, the power usage is just gonna go up. The energy bill is gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Electricity bill. So, I really want one, but I wanted to get one before we move in. It's be by the time I got out of college, but I don't think that's worth it because I really don't want to
Yeah.
have to explain to my mom why the electricity bill went up over $100 every month from the second I got my computer.
You have to explain that someone is just siphoning your electricity.
Yeah, my mom is great. She was telling me after college, she'll give me a year to like sort out my life and figure out what I'm doing.
And then
Like get
kick
a
you out.
job. Yeah, or start paying rent.
Oh wow. My mom gave me actually quite a bit of time to figure stuff out because she knew how I was like with my motivation and stuff for life. And
Mhm.
like even though now I've been paying like or helping pay bills since I went to the army and stuff. And now that I got the Chick-fil-A job, so now it's not too bad. And I don't think she's gonna kick me out. She says she doesn't. I've told her before, like if I become a hindrance, she can just kick me out, and I guess I'll just be homeless or something. But she says she's not going to. So,
Just straight up, it's fine, mom. I will live in the streets.
well, yeah, like if I become that big of a hindrance, like I have to deal with the consequences, right? So
Mhm.
can't. It just happens. But I don't think I'm that big of a hindrance, especially now that I'm helping pay some bills. So
Yeah, you're pretty helpful if you're supplying funds to pay for
yeah,
builds. So
I do want to switch though. I haven't I haven't been able to get it yet.
yeah, your Mario Kart's waiting for you. Keegan.
Yeah, it's literally sitting right next to all my PlayStation discs. So
When will you play me, Keegan?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I have a lot of games actually. A couple games on my PlayStation that I still haven't finished, like the story in it, like Assassin's Creed Unity and was it Akina, Bridge of Spirits and stuff.
Oh
So
yeah, 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 yeah. That game's cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. I think I'm on like the last couple of bosses to beat to like finish the game for
Mm.
Akina, but like I, I haven't been playing it. I've just been on my computer grinding Osu. I
I
gotta
think
keep
I tried
grinding.
Osu once.
Did you? I thought you said you weren't going to try it.
No, the one thing I won't try is League or
Rocket League.
MOBAs and League of Legends. I played Rocket League before.
Oh yeah, I think you told me.
On what device was it? On my friend's Switch.
Oh okay.
Yeah, that's my only experience with that.
Yeah, I mean, Rocket League is pretty fun. It's like it is very repetitive because it's just a simple like kind of like a sports game, but not really.
Rocket
Yeah.
powered stuff. Yeah.
Well, I think the original name was like super powered acrobatic rocket powered battle car or something like that.
Yes, that was the name.
Yeah, but it's like it has a very good replayability at least, and there's a whole competitive scene, the esports tournaments and stuff.
Mm.
Like it's pretty fun. It's just some people don't like the repetitiveness of it because you're pretty much just doing the same thing, and even though there are different game modes within it, it still pretty feels like the same game.
I don't understand that whole thing with like people getting annoyed with repetitiveness, but would play like Call of Duty.
Yeah, like the games are gonna repeat at some point. It's only one game. You can't really have like 50 games in one game.
Then we have people who are just obsessed with horde shooters, and we're just like, isn't it the same game? Or no?
Yeah, I guess the only time that happens when there's like kind of like a feeling of multiple games in one game is when there's like community made stuff that is implemented into the games.
Yeah.
Like Minecraft and stuff, they have like their whole modding scene, or you can make your own maps and all that. Like you have so much stuff that you can do there that you'll like never run out of stuff to do.
One game I missed that was the epitome of creativity was Little Big Planet.
Bro, I still have Little Big Planet 3. Bro,
Little Big Planet 2 was the best. 3, they were going downhill with it.
what about Sackboy Adventures, the new one?
It's not really the multiplayer aspect anymore, like the side-scrolling, thing. Sackboy Adventures like an open world thing. They were trying to reboot the series, but nothing beats the original where you can just like hop into a player-made world.
Yeah.
And stuff.
The only one I got was Little Big Planet 3, and I liked it. It was pretty fun. It's just I
Yeah,
didn't really have friends to play it with.
Yeah, that's the 2. You need to have people. Yeah, you could party up with people, but Little Big Planet 2 is the height. That met so many people doing maps, role play, and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I bet that whole like trilogy or series like hit a lot of people because it's pretty fun.
I had all of them. I had the karting game too, Little Big Planet Karting.
I didn't even know there was a karting game.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty good too.
Oh man. So I have like no experience with Little Big Planet like that. Like I only have a Little Big Planet 3, so very inexperienced.
If it ever comes out on PC or PlayStation again, like reboot of Little Big Planet 2, it's never gonna live up to the original because the company that made it, I think I watched a video on what happened to them, but yeah, they're not doing Little Big Planets anymore. Some stuff happened in it.
I mean, it'd be like that,
The music of Little Big Planet's also goated.
Bro, in some games that like people be going hard for music, and I really like that. Like when I mentioned the game I mentioned before, Hollow Knight, their music is so fire for a lot of things, and you can be doing like the most mundane thing, and just the musician in the background just be going wild. Right, you just like feel like you're doing the most epic thing when in reality you're just kind of like upgrading your like weapon a little bit, and that's it.
I love specifically music in video games sometimes really are the main reasons I purchase games sometimes. Guilty Gear Strive. I first got introduced to the music and I was just like, bro, this thing slaps. All the music slaps. Every character has a voice theme. Some games that have voice songs, a lot of games can't like afford to have like an actual singer do their do the stuff. But when a game does, it's just amazing. Like Metal Gear Rising
Yeah,
Revengeance, the one with
yeah,
Raiden, game
yeah.
is absolutely amazing. And I love the music, and I listen to the music sometimes when I work out.
I mean, that's kind of like the reason why I'm like getting into rhythm games now. Or really more into rhythm games because
The
you know
thing
it's
about
like
rhythm games, you're expecting the music. In like a
yeah,
slasher shooting game, you're not expecting it. So
yeah. I mean, for me being a musician, I just like listening to music in general, especially
yeah,
when the gameplay you're doing fits the music. Even in like you're just hitting a key to the beat of a music, bro. I like that.
you should play that shooter that came out that like you only fire your gun if you time it on the beat. Do you know what that is?
Uh,
Have you heard of that?
no, I don't think I've heard of it. There was this recent game I was looking into, just Shapes and Beats that came out like a few years ago,
Just shapes and
and
beats.
yeah, just Shapes and Beats, and I was looking at it, and it's not necessarily a rhythm game. It's like a you know Cuphead.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where like your character is kind of like dodging a lot of like projectiles, a lot of stuff moving around the screen.
Hmm.
It's kind of like the old Asteroids game,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
your character is just moving around a lot of stuff, and the bosses or the levels themselves are what's following the music, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like Geometry Dash in that sense, but Geometry Dash is a lot of times when they make the levels, they don't follow the music that religiously.
Hmm. The
But
levels that do follow the music are great.
oh yeah, I love it when that happens. But when I was watching it or watching like some like gameplay of it, I was like, oh bro, this is fire. I might get this. It's like $20 though, but so I'll probably get it a little later.
Hmm.
And it's on PlayStation, so I might get it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I mean that's probably also why I got super into Osu, just because
Hmm.
I think before I got into Osu, I didn't know it was free because I was looking for it on Steam and it wasn't on Steam, so I was like, oh dang. So I didn't know where to go to get it. So before I got it, I got Adelphi, A Dance of Fire and Ice, and that was like uh, $12, I think, or something.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool rhythm game too. It's pretty like different than like other rhythm games that I've seen, and it's pretty interesting. I got decent at it, and then I think I also got Muse Dash
Oh, I
because
know
I had
Mustache.
yeah I had it on my phone, and I decided to get it on my computer as well to like see if I can like play better, and I did a little bit, but I was like, the game the kind of rhythm game I want is the one where like the notes fall and you have to hit it as it reaches like the line or something. That's what I was looking for, and I knew Osu had it because they had like Osu Mania. That's what I was looking for.
Have you ever played Beatx?
I think I've heard of it. Is it the one where like the beetle or something is on a track?
No.
And so I don't know.
It's a rhythm game, and I played it a lot because it had like a lot of anime songs, like Vocaloid and stuff, and
Oh yeah,
it was really good. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you can
Muse
still
Dash has.
play it. I don't know.
I'm
This game is just basically the epitome of like bare bones rhythm
yeah.
game, but it's good, and I loved it.
I mean that
I farmed the game. I farmed it.
Yeah, I mean that's why I like Osu a lot because everything is community made. Like all the levels, songs, everything is community made. So you can
Mhm.
get any type of song you want as long as it's popular enough that someone was willing to make it, or just make the song yourself. And it's pretty cool. It's just a lot of the songs that you might find may not be ranked, so you may not get like any points from it to like rank up.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good. So, but I got to keep up the grind if I want to stay in the top 1%.
Bro's really trying to farm. He's he's trying to get top 10,000 in the world.
Of course, top 10,000. I think that's like 0.5% or something in the world, top 0.5%.
Mm.
So, bro, I'm telling you, bro, once I reach it, you can be sure I'm gonna be like just saying it everywhere I go. Like, let's say we're gonna jump in a car and I'll be like, hey, bro, you know I'm top 10,000 in the world? Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, but it's gonna take a while though. So I don't know.
How long do you predict it's gonna take to get to 10,000?
Well, my rank just shot up like 5,000 ranks because there was a performance points rework on the system, and I gained quite a few ranks. But
Mhm.
right now, since I'm not like actively gaining ranks from playing like the main version of the game, it might take until the new version that I'm playing on right now starts submitting scores properly and like keeping track of it.
Okay.
Because since right now it's not like submitting it and like ranking it, so my rank is stagnant right now until that happens. So there's no like projection of when that's gonna happen. Maybe in like it could be like a year or a couple months, to like a year maybe, or even longer. So,
Mm.
but I'm just gonna play it until I get better, so that when it does happen, I'm just gonna just shoot up so many ranks, maybe top 100. You never know.
I will say good luck.
And I hope that luck is founded.
All right. Any final notes before we end?
uh, Science is cool.
Science is cool. Don't be a fool.
Yeah, don't be. Anime is cool too.
Yeah. This is pretty chill. An hour and 10.
Yeah, hour 10 minutes.
All right. Thank you all for listening. If you ever make it this far, but this is pretty. I like the second episode. It was nice. Way better
Yeah,
than
it was
yesterday.
pretty chill.
Music's been going. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll upload this now. Bye bye.
Bye.